Xbox Live name. Bob Jordy
You don't want to
Love,
know
Bob
Bob Jordy
iPath.
Love, Bob iPath, all sorts of
I
other
remember
stuff.
Bob Jordy Love. I used to get so excited when you get on and then you'd go straight to Netflix. I'm like, oh.
Welcome to the basement.
Okay, well, we're live right now.
Live, and I just dropped something that I don't want to drop.
Welcome back to B&T'S Basement. Bob's contemplating retirement. Jackson's getting
On the verge of
fired.
getting fired.
He's on the verge of getting fired. Fired! You're fired. Guys, let's just talk about the Phasmophobia game. How's your experience with Phasmophobia? We need to put a couple of clips in here of you guys getting scared. That's some good
Oh,
stuff.
Bob, you act like you didn't get scared.
I don't get scared.
Yeah, you don't get scared when you sit outside in the van.
Oh, sorry, I'm freaking the one with all the money in the damn game. No flex, I'm just saying.
Okay, it says you two sitting outside for...
That was funny. So for everybody that doesn't know what the Phasmophobia game is, give you a little rundown. You're basically ghost hunters, and you have to go inside a house and figure out what kind of ghost you're dealing with. There's different types of ghosts, like demon, shadow, or shard, or whatever it is.
There's like
Mare.
15 ghosts.
Yeah,
Different.
and it's a crazy game. Like you have crucifixes, and you have you only have flashlights. You can't run. And you're just like ways to find, like, get little hints and evidence of what kind of ghost it is. Oh, and let me just tell you that these two girls here were just screaming at the top of their lungs the whole night we were playing.
Okay, when me and you were playing, blocks are moving across the floor. Bob's like, what?
Bob, you need to get a VR headset and play the game in VR.
Oh, dude, that would be a whole different level.
Oh.
Imagine just freaking one of those demons popping up in front of your face with the VR. I would probably punch something.
Jackson
We
was
haven't even
the
done, like,
most scared.
gym.
Jackson, you were the most scared out of us all,
Yeah.
though, because you're like, dude, I can't. What do I do when I'm screaming and I can't find my push to
Yeah.
talk?
But at least Jackson has the nuts to stay inside by
I
himself.
stayed in that bathroom by myself.
After like 2 games, I was like, Jackson, you have to go in there. You have to. When me and you were playing, you were like, I'm not doing it.
Because Jackson thinks that's part of the game. He doesn't know what he's doing still. He doesn't know how to open doors in the game. So, of course, he's volunteering to play himself.
I should have recorded that when I shut the door on Jackson. And to open the doors, you have to pull him with the mouse. You have to click on him and pull him. And I shut the door, and the ghost is by us, and Jackson's just trying to open the door, and I just see his head going through the door because he's like just trying. He's just bop, 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 bop. And like in the game, so you press buttons, and the further you get away, the quieter you are, and you have radios, and the ghost can turn off your radios. Oh, it's just a good time.
Let's just tag out of this podcast. We'll make it a real short episode. Let's go play that.
Should we'll just done a Phasmophobia podcast while we were playing. To stay in Discord.
Imagine though.
Well,
no, what was your
how about we could do this quick? Talk a little bit more about the game, and then just record our reactions, and then clip. I guess that doesn't work for listeners.
No, you don't want to. We're gonna shoot a podcast, okay? But listen, we're gonna have to insert some clips on the old B&T Instagram of us playing Phasmophobia. Link Talon's stream there. He needs to get a better PC here soon though, so he can up that streaming quality. No, I'm saying no, it's not hating. I'm just saying, but tune in to
talk about your
gaming.
venture on caffeine.
Let's go. We're up to 33 followers now. Trying to grind out. I don't know. I just think it's cool. I mean, the goal that I made like $3 in total from people donating.
Didn't I donate $3?
No, you donated
I donated 4.
no, it's like, so those are bits, but like then you have to turn the bits into gold, and then it's like 10 gold is like $1, and I have like 33 gold.
Nice.
But you have to wait till you get
Yeah, you
up to
actually got
100
viewers,
total.
which is cool. Yeah,
What
you get
about that
viewers.
one kid? We're playing Rocket League. He bets us we can't win 5 games in a row. Granted, we lost the 5th game, but he dipped. He dipped and dotted.
No, he still donated.
Did
That's
he?
where I got like the majority. He donated like $2.50.
Look at this. Look.
Uh,
What was
What's
that?
crazy is I touch my vape, okay, and it makes my headphones buzz, dude. There's stuff going through my body making my headphones buzz. Imagine we're getting radiation just sitting here. That's some kind of radiation, probably, huh?
I think that's like voltage.
Oh, well, still. I mean, I think
Not that I'm an
everything.
electrician
I'm
or
pretty
anything.
sure.
But
I'm pretty sure. Like everything puts off a little bit of radiation.
Well, they say like the
That's why
5G when that
everything
was
causes
coming out.
cancer in California.
So they don't get sued because everyone sues. That's why they have to put
Yeah.
hot on coffee now. It's because a person
Listen.
sued like a coffee shop because their cup didn't say hot and they dumped it on themselves and got like 3rd-degree burns. And they sued them.
no. I'm gonna set this story straight because I actually did read the real story to this.
Sure it did.
That person that spilled the coffee on themselves and sued McDonald's for so much money, it was actually like an 83-year-old old lady, and it like the cup, McDonald's made their coffee so hot that it literally went through the cup onto her lap, gave her, I think it was like, what's the 3rd-degree burns is the worst, right? It gave her like 2nd-degree burns on her legs, her stomach, and her genitals. And she didn't even try to sue McDonald's. She just went through to them and said, "Hey, this happened. Your coffee was this hot. It literally like collapsed my cup from the bottom." He says, "I like, what can we work out? I don't want to go after you guys or anything. I just want my medical expenses," because she like was in the hospital for a really long time,
Well,
and she just had
83
to
years
go through
old.
McDonald's to cover her medical expenses. And McDonald's straight up shut it down and was saying, "You're lying. You poured it on yourself on purpose," and stuff like that. And a lawyer picked up on it, and they went after her and they launched an investigation. And I don't know the correct temperature of how hot coffee should be, but it was like more than 2 times what
Lava.
coffee's. It's like it was more than 2 times the degrees that it's actually regulated at that businesses
I'm
can
pretty sure
serve it.
that's why they have to put hot like on coffee cups now and everything so that it's your own
Yeah.
fault if
Saying,
something happens.
you know what I'm just saying? We should take warning labels off. You know, everything. We should just do that and just let Mother Nature take its course. Common sense has to
You'd be
be
the
in
first one
effect.
to cash in if they took
Mother
it off
Nature's
now.
already taken it. What do you guys think about the Johnson & Johnson little shot
Oh,
being
gosh.
recalled?
Nah,
I
I
thought-
don't think they needed to. It was only like 6 cases out of the bajillion. I don't know how many people they did that got blood clots.
The Johnson & Johnson's vaccine is going to kill more people than COVID did.
No.
You know
COVID
what's
killed more
funny
people.
is I
But-
think the funniest argument is that people, like the same people that were saying, "Why should I be scared of a virus that kills 0.002% of people?" Then people are flipping around and saying, "Why are you scared of a vaccine that kills 0.0002% of people?"
Facts. You got an argument. I'm just waiting because I'm not afraid of dying to COVID. And, you know, I've already had it. I think
as long as you're
I'm immune for it.
semi-healthy.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I'm a little fat. I need to lose some pounds. Maybe I could get a little bit of COVID, die from COVID. But, you know, I'm not worried about it. So I'm waiting until they perfect it so I don't become a zombie like I Am Legend or
I
something.
feel like it's what I think is stupid is the like the COVID wallet passport thing.
Yeah. I think that's pretty effed up. That, I mean,
1939, Nazi Germany.
it's just kind of it's only messed up because it's just against freedom, but I mean, it's also not that big of a deal because everybody should get the vaccine eventually, but
But then
we
is it going to
shouldn't
be
have
something that you have to? Is it going to be like the flu shot? Do you think?
yeah, I don't know. See, it should
Have
be
you
like
ever
the
got a flu shot?
Like, yeah, I've got a flu shot. I've
I don't
got
think I've
fucking all
ever.
sorts of kind of
I
shots.
don't
I
think
got
I've ever gotten a
anthrax
flu shot.
shots. Anthrax shots. I got one of those before. Holy,
You'll be
those
turned
suck.
into
Like,
Deadpool.
see, I'm not scared to be getting those kind of shots. Like when I like in the army, I don't even know what half the shots I got. Like you go in and you're just line up, and I'm not even shitting you. They give you 4 shots in one arm. I didn't know any of them were. I'm sure they were all just like
I'm pretty sure the nurse
chickenpox
could
and
tell
shit
you
like
what's
that.
in the shot. I don't think that nurses can. I don't think they actually know what's in the COVID shots.
Yeah, I'm waiting until they perfect it, and then I'll go get it, or something.
Yeah,
Because
but
it's
by the
just gonna
time they
become the
perfect it,
flu.
it's gonna be like a herd immunity. Like everywhere, it's gonna be like
Yeah. But I
Why
mean,
don't
you get the flu shot. I still get the flu shot because getting the flu sucks ass.
I've never
why
gotten a
don't
flu shot.
why don't they pump the military like when they give you those shots? Why don't they just pump some steroid in your arm?
Yeah, I know they should.
I'm
I mean,
turning into super soldiers, dude.
when I was over there, dude, all the Australians, they're all on steroids, 100%. Like, when you go to the gym, they're just all
Do they let
yak,
you
dude.
get on roids? Like, is that
No, you
against
can't.
anything? Or
You take drug tests,
so they just let you?
but I mean,
Or like,
they
can you
don't
get
let
on
you. You
test? Oh,
can't.
can you be on testosterone?
Yeah, you could be on stuff, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe you could be on
Why not?
steroids.
Why
I don't
not
know. I
let them
didn't
be
look
on
into it.
steroids, dude? Like, we
Might
want
as
the
well,
strongest and most fit. Just
because
let
they're
them get
making
on.
robots. They're not gonna need people soon.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. They're a step
Yeah.
ahead. The reason why they're not pumping steroids because they're already pumping so much money into robotic.
Well, I remember seeing. I think there's like a kind of like a mechanical suit type thing that they can like get in.
Exosuit.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that somewhere, and they can like it makes them
Call of
like
Duty.
10 times as strong. Well, it's literally like that, but I'm pretty sure
Dude.
they really do have that,
Crazy.
which is the same probably what all the stuff they do have.
That's gonna be inevitable, but watch.
So, what do you guys think about masks?
Masks. I have no problem with them.
I don't
It's
care like how
I
like
don't wear them, but if people say, "Hey, put a mask on," I'm just gonna put a mask on. Like the people, I
Yeah.
was at Costco, and this guy, like, they have the right to make their own rules. Okay, like if they say wear masks, that they own that shit. You have to put a mask on. Like it's their sandbox. We're just going to play in it. It's like I'm not gonna sit there and bitch and moan. This guy, he's like drives me nuts. He's freaking walking around, has his mask under his chin, and they're like, "Hey," like this some innocent little girl's like, "Hey, can you put your mask on?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot you guys are sheep over here and you're scared." And I'm like, "Dude, you think she makes the rules? Hell, like she's just doing what she's told." And he's just ripping her a new one, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, "Dude, just put your mask on. Like it's not that big
She
of a
go
deal."
push him, Bob.
Like, no, dude, the guy was like freaking 400 pounds. Like,
I
Ain't
don't know,
no sheep, I'll tell you that.
I don't want
It's
it to
just
be like how they are in like Japan where they wear masks all the time. I mean, they don't get sick over there. Like I think they have
yeah,
the lowest like sickness, like nobody gets sick over there, but it's
yeah,
because they all wear masks. But I don't want it to be like that.
yeah. But it
So,
just sucks. Like,
have you seen the thing with the theory, like what they did, like in Islamic countries and stuff like that, with the whole masks? How, like, through ancient history. Now, granted, my
granite,
basis off of this, granted,
granite. You
granted.
said granite. Yeah, my granite
Hey,
countertop.
That's rock
Sorry,
it's
hard.
that Sam Pete accent, okay?
your shampoo action.
So
You were
this is
down to
like
San Pete this
coming
weekend.
from, Republican Sam Pete. Someone shared it. I saw it on Facebook, and that's mostly Republican.
You gotta love it.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of it, there's like, it's so easy to poke holes through, but other thing kind of just makes you think. Not really like sway, but think about it. But it's like in ancient Islamic history or something, they found out that someone's face is like their personality and their pride. So that's why they had all the women wear masks and like complete face coverings because it just shows like it takes away their self worthiness in their head or something like
Well,
that. And
doesn't
they
it?
said that's why that's like transition from culture because obviously
That's a religion though. Like
Yeah.
what's that face? It's the
I don't know. I feel like we need to do some research here.
oh yeah. Well, I know that's their religion. Like I think it's like modesty, kind of like how the Mormons like
Yeah, but
don't
that
show.
shit's nuts. Like when I was in Dubai, like not bashing. I'm trying not to bash on any religion here, but it's kind of sexist, honestly. Like, we went to the beach. Some guy's just wearing a Speedo, dude. You can basically see his dong, and
Yeah.
his wife's over there in a full black freaking. I think it's his wife, but they were
Yeah.
together. And she's in a full black swimsuit, like you could see nothing but her eyes. I'm like,
Well,
this guy's like in his
the
Speedo,
same.
cheeks hanging out, and she has to wear that. But I mean, if that's
I mean,
their
I
thing,
feel like all religions are sexist because I mean, you look at like the Mormon Church. There's no female apostles or
yeah.
anything. So I mean, all religion is the man. I don't know.
All right. So I fact checked myself. I found it. It says 2,300 years ago, long before Islam, so I was wrong there, Arabs discovered that forcing people to cover their nose and mouths broke their will and individuality and depersonalized them. It made them submissive. That's why they later imposed on every woman the mandatory use of a fabric over her face. Then Islam turned it into the woman's symbol of submission to Allah, the man owner of the harem and the king. Modern psychology explains without a face, we don't exist as independent beings. Face coverings / masks are ancient tools used to break people down psychologically. This is the beginning of deleting individuality.
Yeah. I mean,
He who does not know his history is certainly condemned to repeat it.
yeah, that's Sam Pete Facebook for you. But like, I
Well,
can
this
see
guy's
that.
from Iowa.
I can see that, but it's like people bitch too much. I'm just saying that. Like, I was watching some documentary on North Korea. Holy shit. That's I don't want to be like that, dude. North Korea, nobody knows anything about North Korea except for the people that live in North Korea because that's like straight communism, dictatorship, like that would suck. I was watching a documentary and this guy, so I guess they take people from North Korea and they put them in labor camps outside of North Korea, like for instance this one was in Russia,
Mm.
and they send them to Russia, middle of butt effing nowhere in Russia, like anywhere in Russia sucks, but like this is like middle of nowhere. The guy was on a train for 30 hours to get out to Russia in the spot, and they go and they have no rights. It's basically a concentration camp, but it's in Russia and it's like a little town of North Korea inside of this forest in Russia, and they have no rights. Like if they leave the camp, they get shot. Like I don't know how this journalist got over there. I didn't finish it all the way, but he was like talking to some of them, and they're just like, yeah, we do it. Like if we leave, they know who we are, and our families will get killed, or like they'll do something to our families. And man, like that's what I don't want the world, like our country end up being like. I don't know. Do I think masks and shit are gonna lead us that way? No,
No.
but it's like
Well, I
we
just
can't
hate
have that kind of
when
shit.
people when I first was starting at FedEx, like I was wearing a mask all the time, like delivering. I mean, it didn't bother me. It wasn't hard. And people were like getting mad at me, like telling me to take my mask off. I'm like, how are you going to get mad at somebody? Like the people that get mad at people for wearing masks.
Yeah,
Like, what if they want to do that? Just let them. It's not
just let 'em do
hurting
that.
you.
That's wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, that's fine. Like I understand. Like spreading. Supposedly, the reason we started all this mask is so when we're around other people, it doesn't spread, right?
Yeah.
Like, but they make you like, even though you're wearing a mask, you still have to stay 6 feet apart and all that. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's like that's what I thought the point of the mask was, is so we didn't have to be 6 feet apart, or like we could be all in a stadium or something like that. It's like, but the thing is if you're afraid of COVID and you're high risk like that, like then just try like then just don't go to those places. Like people that want to go out and do stuff, like have their freedom,
Yeah.
they should be allowed
Well,
to
I
do
mean, the
that.
masks do work because I mean, like the flu is like the lowest it's
Yeah.
ever been. So I mean, they work.
Yeah, they definitely work. But that's what I think they should be. Is like
They've
we
showed
should be
like
able to.
even what I think is stupid is they said like they shortened the minimum requirement from 6 feet to 3 feet. They're like it's the same, so you can be 3 feet apart from somebody. Then the governor of California is like, oh no, we're still staying at 6 feet. I'm like,
That guy is crazy though.
dude, he's a dumbass.
Gavin Newsom, isn't that his name?
Yeah,
I don't know. I just think I don't. Masks aren't a problem. Wear a mask, but let's go back to how we were. Like, let's go to football games. Let's go to basketball games. Let's go to freaking
I think it should all be
Supercross.
like you should be able to decide, like, if you want to go. It's
Yeah.
not hurting anybody else.
Yeah. And especially with the vaccine out now, like I can get it before the vaccine, because some people have to go out there and they don't want to.
Yeah, but even
But now
like
that
grocery store, you can literally buy everything online, not come in contact with anybody. They put the groceries in your car. Just lazy. Like,
Oh well. I
well, no,
haven't
no,
put
no.
groceries
I'm not
in my
saying
car.
doing that's lazy, but people that are complaining like, oh, you can't go to football games or anything. Well, you're the one that's being lazy. Just choose to order your groceries online and not be in contact with anybody. That's your own choice.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
don't get mad at somebody just because we're social beings. Like, we need social interaction.
I just think with the vaccine out now, we should be able, like, we have enough of them. Like people, like in Utah, there was only 200 new cases of COVID, and there was 2 deaths reported today. That was like
I wish we
reported
could
by
just know the
KSL.
actual numbers.
Yeah, well, that's what KSL 200 new cases, and they said so many thousand vaccines. With the vaccine out, like people should have the choice whether or not they want to go out or not. It's like I get it before the vaccine, but now the vaccine's out, like it should be free game. Like if you want to wear a mask, and
But even
let's go back to
it
normal.
showed that what 70% or 78% of total like COVID hospitalizations were from obese people.
Yeah,
So
or
I'm
like
like,
underlying conditions and stuff like that.
no, just from obesity.
Oh really?
Yeah. So and like you
I'm in
like I'm
danger.
not the
I'm in danger.
I'm not the skinniest, but I think they're talking about like the 3, 4, 500 pound people. But it's been shown this whole time, like clear back in like last summer, it showed if you're healthy, if you exercise, you get it, you're fine. Like, I mean, there's the rare cases like that Kazmat Shemaev, the UFC fighter that got it.
Oh yeah.
That almost died. And there's like a marathon runner that got it and like almost, or I think a marathon runner got it and died actually. So I mean, there's the rare cases, but it's shown that if you're healthy and you get it, you're fine. 99% of the time.
Let's change the topic. I hate talking about this because it's like people are very sensitive about it. I don't give a shit. I'll wear a mask. If you
We're
tell me to
just
wear a mask.
bringing it to light.
I just think that people, it has not even turned into the reason why we're wearing a mask or why we're not wearing a mask. It's just, I hate you because you decide to wear a mask, and I hate you because you refuse to wear a mask.
It's politics.
Like that's just society nowadays.
just-
Is people just got to hate on something, and people got to be different and better than other people because they are different.
It's just politics, and that's what thing is. All politicians want us to hate each other. They want the liberals and the Republicans to hate each other. Just need peace,
It's
love,
like
and positivity.
being in high
brother.
school again. That's all politicians are. It's like being in high school again. Who's more popular?
Yeah, who's more popular.
Got the jobs.
I'll wear a mask if you want me to wear a mask. I just want to go, and I want to go to concert. I want to go to freaking football games, And if I have to wear a mask, so can be it. I don't care.
Which is weird. It's weird how people like talk about everything being closed because Utah never got really closed. I always talk about like Florida, Miami never got shut down, Atlanta, but like Utah, nothing ever got shut down really. I mean, when it was like the lockdown, like restaurants, like everything closed down for then. I mean, everything around the whole country did, but Utah never really got locked down either.
I mean, yeah, I didn't miss any work, nothing.
I thought it was crazy, like because we went back to work pretty early, like start of July, maybe even June. And I thought it was crazy to see is like restrictions started to lift and COVID was kind of dying down to the point where people weren't so scared of it. But it was like increasingly getting worse. I thought it was like my drive to work coming home is just terrible on I-15 southbound.
Mm-hmm.
It was like literally, it's a 45-minute drive in the morning. Don't tell me how I did it, but I made it home in 30 minutes on my way home. Now I'm back up to like 45, 50 minutes driving home just because of all that traffic. But it was like week after week, just more and more cars, more and more
It's crazy
cars.
that I hear people that lived in LA that they've talked about like when the COVID traffic, how there was nothing at all.
I feel like that was a good thing from COVID. Is just like the environment was.
Yeah, you saw like all the pollution
It's just
levels.
crazy where like celebrities are moving now. Like LA is not really the hub anymore.
Well, I think social media is doing that so much. You know what I mean? Like
social media is the real disease. Let's be honest.
Oh, please. We're on social media.
I know,
right
but
now.
I'm just saying, like, you wake up, probably one of the first things you guys do is kind of just like look through your phone and stuff
like-
like that. It's like,
I feel like it's only a
No,
bad
I
thing
look
if
at the
people
alarm
let
clock
it.
and I get the hell out of bed because I'm late.
yeah, but I'm saying one of the first things. I'm like, I do it. I wake up, I like turn my alarm off, and then I'll go sit on the toilet, sit on Twitter. I'm like,
What's wrong
oh,
with
dude,
that
I
though?
wish there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing about social media is that people get too comfortable behind their screen and they're so like negative, and it's just like it makes.
see,
I feel
like-
like that makes depression and everything like that is so high because of like they see this other like they think this is reality, but whoever on Instagram that travels everywhere and posting all these awesome pictures, it's not really like that. And like people dream to be like that, but they can't. It's just not reality. It's like,
well,
but it's
yeah.
Damn.
But I think it's
Damn,
only.
Bob.
I get how you're saying because Ashton
Yeah.
always is like, oh, I just want to travel. He follows all these people that travel. I'm like, that's not like we can. Like I'll take
yeah, you
I'll
can
take a
do
week
that.
off of work. We can. But like these.
But it's like, honest, you could quit and make it work somehow and travel the world. People actually do that
Well, I
backpacking
mean,
stuff, but it's
yeah,
not.
we have enough money to do it for like a year. Me
Yeah,
and her
but
could
it's
both not work, and be just fine for a year. But then what?
Yeah, but it's not Instagram reality. People think they see these and they're like, "Oh, look at them! They're in Paris, like in this hotel in Paris, looking at the Eiffel Tower with all these lights."
So I'm like, okay,
that's
just
not every
grind.
day.
Okay, just grind. You can get there. There's when people are like, I can't just shut
That's the
up
thing.
and
I
go
think
to
depression.
like.
I think depression and stuff like that is higher than I don't know. It could. I don't know the rates of it right now, but a lot of people are depressed because they see all this stuff and they want to do that, but it's like they don't want to work to get there, which sucks to say, but it's like they see all this Instagram every single day. Oh man, Joe and Joe are over there doing that. It's like I want that, but that's what's sad because I follow van lifers and I'm like, oh dude, I just want a Sprinter van and travel the country.
Yeah,
And
dude, I follow these guys that go golf all over the world. I'm like, that'd be nice. I mean, I don't let it affect it. And like when people get affected by negative comments, I'm like, just don't follow. Like there's good places on Twitter good pages you can follow that don't post negative shit.
yeah, that's what you just have to do that. Like I on Twitter, I see comments and I hate it that it let it get to me, but I see it and I'm just like, I just want to grab them and I just want to be like, dude, like people say the most disrespectful crap over like on comments. I'm like, dude, you're probably some little kid on your in your mom's basement, just calling these people all sorts of words and racist. And I'm just like, dude, it drives me so nuts. Like
Or
people
like the
get too comfortable.
morality police, the people
Yeah.
that get on and comment and like, how dare you be happy? Like that isn't cool.
Yeah.
Like we're all miserable. Why can't you be
Come be
miserable?
miserable
Like
with
this
us.
ain't
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There's always haters out there. And that's like when I see something like that, like I had to delete Twitter for a while because I was just like, I kept seeing that kind of stuff. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna block it,
like
or I'm
all
just gonna unfollow all this stuff. Like if I see negative stuff like that, I don't want it. So now my Instagram and Twitter are just full of video games and
yeah.
dirt bikers
But
and
it's
vans.
even hard, like the algorithms for like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. They find what you're liking, and then they'll put that in the algorithm, and they find stuff that because getting people mad, that's what gets interactions.
Yeah, it's like Jake Paul right now. F Jake Paul. I'm a
Dude.
hater.
What do you guys think of all like ESPN post and stuff about like esports and Jake Paul and stuff, and like the old boys are just getting on there and lighting it up? You know what
I
I
like
mean?
the esports. I mean, bring video games
like-
to light. Like
It's
it's
like
They don't-
people are like that though. They're like, "This is not real sports." I'm like, dude, just like
okay.
They
You
don't
try
realize
to
that like
go.
esports brings in probably more money than like
That's
other
why
sports that are main. You know what I mean?
Nah, I mean, like basketball and stuff, they're still making shit tons of money. But I mean, that's why Golden State Warriors and stuff like that. Like, who owns part of the 100 Thieves? I can't remember. It's one of these NBA teams, I think, and like the Dallas Empire. I think the Mavericks have or something like they have investments into these
Well,
esports
dude,
and
it's
stuff.
huge money now.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's like people that hate on that. I'm like, dude, like why are you being such a hater?
Like,
Like,
well, people
not
like
everybody was gifted to be 6'2", and I mean, obviously you can work your way there, but some people just don't have it, and they want to
Yeah.
play video games, and they're good at that. Like,
Like,
let 'em
I
let
hate
'em
when
be.
people are like, you can't be like, you can't go pro in that. I'm like, I mean, let them try. It's the same as
Let 'em
them
try.
playing high school football or high school basketball.
Exactly.
Let them do it. Don't
Point
let
one
them don't
percent
let them
of
miss
people
school.
make it pro.
Yeah,
It's like,
How many
don't. It's just as
kids
hard to.
nowadays do you think get more interaction out of playing video games at home than they do walking through the hallway at school?
I don't know. I'm not in high school.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
back in the day, like
I mean,
playing
it's just as
football was
hard to
like the
make a
thing to do.
pro like esports team as it is to make the NFL though, or like
Yeah. Did you hear like the high school and stuff like have like a esports team though now?
Well, yeah, like
What?
colleges have esports teams now, dude.
Like but North Sanpete High School has like an esports team for like Rainbow Six or something like that.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been dope.
Can we redo the thing where we could go back in time and live in a time zone?
I know. No, I couldn't live in high school. I couldn't be in high school now. All these kids with their dingly earrings and all this shit. I'm like, back in the day, if we showed up to school with a freaking dingle dangle earring on, freaking ripped
Get
jeans,
ripped
skinny
out.
jeans and shit, we would have got bullied. It's just like
That's what like kids 5 years before you said about like Jedi braids and stuff, Bob. I
Yeah.
remember when you had the Jedi braid and the rat.
I had
tail
the
and stuff
rat
like that.
tail. I get it. I know it's just changing, but I'm just like, where my head is back when we were like, I'm like, oh, when I was in high
What do you
school,
think
we
about like
didn't do that. But it's like
the short like John Stockton short like them the short basketball shorts?
yo,
Are you into that style?
I like them. I wish I would have played with short shorts
Well, but
back in
like
the
I'm talking
day.
about like wearing it. Like yeah, I see kids wear them to like high school and like to walk around.
Like
I'm
wearing them at school, I wouldn't do that. I mean, let them do what they want. I'm just saying, like,
but I'm saying like how
but I go
styles
back
change.
to it's like 21 Jump Street, like when he goes to school and he was a nerd and that and Channing Tatum was a jock, he's all cool, and then he goes back. Now nerds are cool and jocks are lame and stuff. It's like it would have been the same thing, but it's like it's just the
I mean,
time
that's
change.
kind of his now. Like I feel like nerds are being like becoming.
I know,
like
but low
cool.
key, I've always been kind of a nerd, like Lord of the Rings and shit like that.
I used to watch YouTube videos. You guys used to make fun of me for watching people play video games when I was in high
but
school.
I got into it too. What do you mean?
Well, I know you did, but like when I was,
I got,
no, I
dude,
did
I was
that
watching
too.
like people play video games and like when I was in middle school. I'm like,
I remember when you first showed
and
me.
all that.
I
remember
remember the
Hutch. He always played Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 2, White Boy 7th Street.
I remember the first video he showed me. It was Dahi Nagola or what's his name? Nogla. And he showed me that one game he's playing the forest, and he's like, oh, how's your date going? Because there's that one creepy girl in the woods. He's like, it's smashing. It's going smashing. And he's like smashing her head in with a rock. And I was like, what the heck are you watching? And then I secretly like really got into it.
Yeah, I like it.
Do you remember in high school, like it was my freshman year. And do you remember that's when like Holden had these crazy outfits? He'd wear like the khakis and the blue shirt. That like it was totally unmatching. And everyone gave him shit
But he was dressing how they like are now.
Yeah.
No kidding. Like that is the trend now. Like that's what people wear now. I think that's so funny that he was just like
he's
a step ahead of the
but
game.
Holden had it. Remember, like we would always be like, "Oh, look, it's our friend Holden." Remember when we were at the Delta game, and we are like, "Dude, Holden's got style." I mean, it's just weird. But like now, I see.
Tell him that.
We told him. I swear. Ask Holden.
Good.
Holden at like we were in Delta for some reason for like a football game. Like we were watching the JV play or something like that, and Holden was there. I think he was a freshman. I don't know, but we were like, dude, he's got style. We were like, all these chicks are into you. Like, what do you got? And he's like, it's the way he was dressing, dude. He had style back then. He's dressing different. Everybody was into it except for us jocks that were just wearing American Fighter because that was cool.
Shorts.
I remember the
sweats.
Cowboys because leaving the seminary building, you had to go through Cowboy Central up there at the west end of the high school next to the tennis courts.
Yeah.
That was like that hall. You just had to get around the Cowboys. And every day we'd be leaving seminary heading in, and they'd be coming out to have their morning dip and slough. Morning dip and slough.
Bring it back to like when my mom was in high school, up in Old West High, having the jocks and the pollies. There's shootouts at lunch.
Gangsters.
Pulling out.
Yeah. You remember your mom telling us that shit. She's like, yeah, you can't. You were saying something. I can't remember what you were saying, Talon. You're like, she's like, if we go up where I used to live, like, you get shot. And I'm like, she's capping right now. She like told stories. I'm like, no, she's real. Like that's
Rose
real.
Park is a scary place back in the day. It's not bad. It's not as bad now, but like back in the day, it's pretty. That was the ghetto.
That was a ghetto. Yeah, I mean West Valley too is kind of like
West Valley's
sketch.
the ghetto.
And
now.
my cousin used to live in West Valley, and I remember we would like go skateboarding all through West Valley. It wasn't that bad back in the day, but like I went back through West Valley not too long ago, and I'm like, man, it's getting kind of sketch like in these areas. Like,
Or everybody
used to
from San
skateboard.
Pete would be like, "Oh, there's no gangsters in Utah." All these they would make fun of all these kids in the boys' home. I'm like these guys like they may look like little tiny scrawny kids, but I'm like the Blood and Crips, all that shit's actually is real. It's here,
I mean, I haven't seen that stuff. Like, it's not like huge in Utah, but it definitely
dude.
lives in
I
Utah.
almost so listen. We went to the bar at like the something the Flying Pig or whatever that bar is in Spanish
Oh, the
Fork.
Green Pig. Oh, the
No, it's a bar that's up there in Spanish Fork, and Rock Shepard had a Cincinnati Reds, the baseball team. He had that hat on, and there's all these pollies wearing blue, and Brock was smashed, and he's like, oh, the Dodgers. I like the Reds. He's like, fuck the Bloods, and Brock's like, what? He's like, I'm a Crip, and like, Brock started talking this shit. He's like, no, I'm talking about baseball. He's like, you want your ass kicked? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, and there's 6 of them, and it's like me, Brock, and Nick. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, we are gonna die. I'm like,
Do you remember when we went to the state fair or county fair or something in Provo and we about got killed by the BYU
them were
football
BYU
team?
offensive linemen. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was
Tell the
wearing a
story, Cal.
we were walking, so like I was up in front. It was like Caden, Sam, Cragen, and Jackson or someone else was up front with me. I don't remember who. I don't know. I think it was Sam, and it was Jackson, Cragen, and Caden in the back. And these pollies came across the light, and I was wearing a University of Utah shirt, and like they were on BYU's football team. They were all decked out in gear. And they were like,
Big
hey,
boys, like 6'4",
like
330.
they were like O linemen,
Yeah.
and they're like, hey, fuck your shirt. And Jackson or somebody turns around, they're like me, and
It was
like
Sam. It
yeah.
was not me. I kept walking, and Sam turned around, and then Caden wanted to go get into it. And I was like, "Okay, Cragen, let's keep going." He's like, "Oh, let's go, Bubba."
Well, and they're like,
Cragen knew
they're like,
better.
no, him up there. He's like, fuck him. I
And
had to
by the time we're talking to these guys arguing them, we look up and Talon is 2 blocks up. Just hurry, come on, it's my coat.
I ain't trying to look like Ben Askren, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you should have just reported them. They would have got freaking benched at BYU for saying the F word or
Oh,
something
yo,
like that.
did you guys see is it Wesley, right? That went to Manti?
Yeah.
Did you see he was like on BuzzFeed or Vice or something on Snapchat? He was because he plays football at BYU.
Wasn't it
And he was on Tinder with a girl, and he was like, I can't remember what he said, just being like disrespectful with today's standards. And she sent it to the news, and they aired it, and they had like multiple media outlets contacting BYU, trying to get their statement on the situation.
Tragic.
And I think he got cut from the team.
Tragic. I remember that kid broke my ankles in high school. That's the one that played quarterback, right?
No. There's the DN. That was Derek.
Oh, that kid was a vagina. I hope he hears this. He was a vagina. I hated that kid. I remember he's like, I ran across the middle and I missed the ball, but he like came around. Better not come around. I'm gonna knock your head off. I'm like, bro, dude, calm down. I hated that.
Well,
kid.
dude, when the Y got lit up like in like the rainbow, and like BYU's get like their social media teams getting all pissed off. I'm like, what?
Did you see? So their tweet said, "We did not authorize the lighting of the Y."
Yeah.
The next day, it rained, and someone took a picture, and a rainbow perfectly went through the Y on Provo Center Street. Someone took a picture and put on Twitter at BYU. Did you guys authorize this?
Well, no. There's a guy, and his hairline was like a clear back hair, like LeBron's. And some dude, like he was from BYU, and he's like all agreeing with that. And they're like, who authorized your hairline? Totally roasted this kid. I'm like, oh shit.
Dude, Twitter is ruthless, though.
Dude, I know.
If you want positivity and butterflies and boobies, go to TikTok.
Go to TikTok. I refuse to download TikTok just because I know how much time I waste. I waste so much time on Instagram Reels. Imagine TikTok.
I waste so much time on Twitter, dude.
Dude, mine's
Yes, man.
Facebook. Facebook, you watch one video and you scroll down, I'm like, oh, I'll watch this. Oh, I'll watch this. Dude, you're there for 2 hours
Yeah.
watching just the most random videos. Do you know how many episodes of Bar Rescue I've watched on Facebook?
I used to
I went
watch
and
the Crazy Russian Hacker, like his little clips on Facebook. I used to
that's
always
how I
watch
found
those.
I don't
David
get on.
Dobrik's vlogs was Facebook.
I
And like
don't get on
Mr.
Facebook.
Beast.
I don't get on Facebook unless it's for Marketplace or like, yeah.
Yeah, I get
Or
on there to
the only reason I
post
post on Facebook now is because Instagram has an option to share to Facebook. It's like,
podcast. You did the podcast, you share it.
oh yeah, I share it when I get the podcast.
I feel like
I guess.
Facebook's just kind of like older now. It used to be for young kids. Now it's older.
Yeah.
Like older.
Well,
I
it's a
remember when
good thing.
Facebook
Like
came out.
you remember when well, at least my dad got it. He was just like amazed at how many people that he went to high school with, people that he used to be in contact with in his like younger days. Like he met up with his long lost friend out of nowhere. I don't know if that was at a family reunion or Facebook, but we went boating. But he was like his best friend in his 20s, like in his bachelor days. We went boating with his family.
I
You
know.
All
guys see
because
The
of
like
only
how
thing I
Facebook.
follow
many
are
social medias we've gone through though. Like I used to have a MySpace, a Bebo, a freaking
Vine.
like we have Facebook. Yeah, had Vine, had freaking.
Dude, Vine was my
We've had some.
favorite.
Vine was fun.
Okay, let's just set this right now. Kids nowadays would never, ever in a million years last on Ask FM. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I never had
Bullying
it.
Central. You
Oh,
could
Nah.
you could just type to people anonymous things that would post to everyone and they had to answer.
Well, there was that Yik Yak. Did you guys ever have Yik Yak?
I remember you had. I remember. Was it you? Kick or
No,
Yik
because there
Yak?
was
Something like that.
I remember the story on Yik Yak. There was a kid down at Snow, and there was someone posted on Yik Yak. They're like, what'd they say? If you go buy us a pizza, we'll like blow you or something along like sexual along the lines. And there was a kid on there, and you could post pictures. And a kid went to Little Caesars, and he's like got the pizza, and these girls or whoever it was took pictures of him and put it on Yik Yak, and I think they got in trouble because like it was like
solicitation of sex,
like prostitution or
prostitution.
Yeah, it was like that, and there's a whole like investigation on Yik Yak. I remember I always thought because they sold socks on their app. I tried to get a pair of their socks, but
town was heated. He's on his way to Little Caesars at the time when he saw it.
like, damn it, this guy already got the pizza.
Damn it! I was right. I was second in line.
No, remember that stupid app? What was it, Voxer? The like radio app.
Oh yeah,
thingy?
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Guess what Bob's origin name is, or like his EA, like for origin, like EA. Just take a wild guess.
Guess what it is?
I don't know.
It's Mexican Sniper 81.
Wasn't that your gamer tag back on 360 days?
Dude, I used to have this because I watched the American Sniper or something, and I was like, or I wanted to be a sniper. So I was like,
that's what we should talk about. All Bob's Xbox Live name: Bob Jordy Love, Bob iPath,
Bob iPath, all sorts of.
I remember Bob Jordy Love. I used to get so excited when you get on, and then you'd go straight to Netflix. I'm like, oh, or like what it was is like DVD player would show up as you online. I'm like, oh, fuck.
I remember
you didn't even have an Xbox, did you? Didn't Jordy buy one, so it just stayed there?
No, I had an Xbox. I remember when I changed that. I remember like I couldn't remember my password to change my name or something, and we were like sitting there on that. I was like, I'm just gonna have to make a new account, and I was doing like my Xbox achievements and everything. I was all hyped on them, and I didn't have that many, but I was like, I have to change it. I have to change my Xbox name.
I got banned on my first Xbox Live, the original Action Jackson 54.
Yeah.
For what?
Because I found out you could get a flash drive and download your profile and then download this little app.
No.
And every game you played, you could load in achievements. So like I loaded up Halo 3, all 1,000 achievements they had. And I did it all. So in 24 hours, I boosted like 56,000 gamer score.
And they banned you for achievements?
Well,
you aimbot it too.
No, I
remember?
didn't.
Yes, you did. I remember this conversation. He tried for like 2 days. He's like, I think I figured out how to get aimbot. And he had like some USB and plug it in his Xbox. He's like, I remember we were like, "Did you get it? Did you get it?"
I had it on private games. Remember, I got it to
During
private
Black
beta
Ops
and did it.
1 days. This is Black Ops 1 days, huh?
Man,
Those are
as I
ridiculous.
remember is so to this day on that account, I only have one achievement because I found a hack around because they ban your gamer score where you cannot earn achievements ever again. It zeroes out. And you know how you could post your gaming type like recreational, pro, noob, or something
Yeah.
like that. You could do all those different ones. Mine got changed to cheater, and I could not change it back. It said cheater, 0 gamer score, couldn't earn any achievements. And I remember I was over at Caleb's house
remember
because he got an
something like
Xbox, and we were playing Dirt Showdown. It's like a derby game,
Mhm.
and we played for like 2 games, and I got like so many demolitions on my profile, and boom, achievement popped up. I'm like, dude, I just fixed my game.
Did you mean to
Like
do
I
that to
fixed.
have like a symbol?
No, I
Dong,
bumped the
yeah.
mic.
Dong.
Ta-da! I
Yeah.
figured it out. But I went back home and I tried to unlock achievements. Like I was just doing basic stuff like on Sims and stuff like that, and I could not earn achievement. But if you play a 2-player game and you're the second player in someone else's Xbox, you can earn an achievement when they ban it. So like to this day, I only have 15 gamer score on that account, and it's like 12 years old probably.
One thing I know we can post for so you know who Bert Kreischer is? You know who Bert Kreischer is, Bob? Like the machine.
Yeah.
He was on
He does the Sober October with Joe Rogan. Him, Ari Shafir, and Tom Segura.
if you look
I
him
saw
up,
him, I
look him
know.
up when I'm talking about this story. You'll know who he is. But I listened to his podcast. It's
What's
Two
his name?
Bears. Bert
Bert
Kreischer.
Kreischer.
If you just type in Bert and then
Just look up the
KRE.
machine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
But I listened to their podcast, Two Bears One Cave, and they were talking about. So think if this is a good name, they're trying to like get into like have their own wine, and they're saying gonna call it like Two Bears One Cave, and just put that on the label. But I was like in my head, I was like, no, they need to call it like Two Bears One Grape. Is that not a good?
Oh,
See, a little play on
you
words.
need to
Bears Want
reach out to their
Oh,
team. They probably have
I'm
like
already on it.
bookings.
Listen to this. I sat in my car for like 2 minutes when I got home from work, and I recorded video. I was like, Bert, you need to just call it Two Bears One Grape. And then I sent it, but it had one
Why?
more in there, huh?
Why Two Bears One Grape? I don't get that.
Because their
It's
podcast
like a
is
play
called
on words.
Two Bears One Cave.
Their main thing is 2 bears, 1 cave, but they're doing a wine, so he says he wants to call it 2 bears, 1 grape. You recorded video. Can you please, at the end of this podcast, post that video you made? Because I know damn well you saved it.
Oh yeah, I got it on my phone right now. But I won't possible. This is what I'm gonna say. Bert Kreischer. We're gonna tag him in this clip. Bert Kreischer. You got 3 investors right here for 2 bears, 1 grape. You got Bob.
I don't like wine.
3 investors of $50.
I might be able to scrape that together. I was thinking more 25.
$25.
You got 3 investors, old Bert Kreischer. So if you want, we're in. 2 bears, 1 grape. We'll be your marketing team. You don't just leave it to us. We'll take 30% residuals for ourselves. That sounds fair. 10 for each.
I'm
I think
not
that
a
sounds-
financial
No,
whiz.
I don't know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
well, yeah, 30.
All right,
Talon's in on
50-50. 50-50, Bob. Or Talon. Bob's out.
Bob's out.
So we got this Bert Kreischer.
I'll be along for the ride.
Yeah, Bert Kreischer. We're in. We're full send.
Full send, no send.
You guys aren't into wine. Never had wine, or
I've had wine. Oh, I got messed up off wine. You got to be careful with wine. Went through the Nightmare on 13th. My buddy's like, just slap the bag, drink some wine. After we went to Lucky's on 13, Lucky's 13, you know? You ever been there? You ever
no.
been?
I know
Lucky's
what
13?
it is.
It's
but
right
I
next to
never-
the Bees Stadium,
Yeah.
dude. They have bomb burgers. Had a few beers there, and he's like, well, before we go in, let's just slap the bag, drink some wine. Drank just pounded wine in the parking lot. Holy, that wine will get you.
Okay, so
Wine?
hit me with this. Did you have it warm or
It was
cool?
warm. Yeah, it was warm.
So that's what threw me off. The first time I ever had wine, I may or may not have been like 17. We were in Park City for New Year's. Went to my buddy's brothers and sisters' place before we went and walked Main Street. But like we were just scooping out the liquor cabinet, seeing what we had. And I remember the only thing that I liked was the good old screwdriver, orange juice and vodka. That was money. Tried wine, and I'm like, this is warm and tarty. Like How
Dude,
do
there's
people
some
like
good
this?
wine out there though.
I feel like if you get
I
like
bet
up into
like
the higher ends,
Yeah.
I think if you get like the one that you put in the fridge,
Dude, the
like in the
Stella
box.
box
Rose wine.
wine?
Have you tried the Stella Rose wine? That stuff's pretty good. It's like Kool-Aid, but like I don't like the way I feel after wine the next morning. I don't like it.
Do you like
Even if I didn't,
champagne?
I don't even get drunk off it or anything. I just like drinking wine. It like gives me a stomach ache or something. I don't know.
Do you like champagne?
Mm, I've only had a cheap ass champagne, so I don't know. I
Have
like
you had a
mimosas though.
mimosa? Oh yeah.
I love mimosas.
Dude, mimosas. We go to
Mimosas are
Mesquite, buddy. Saturday, Sunday at the Casablanca buffet, endless mimosas, and I get my money worth. And I usually spend all that money that I saved and more on the casinos right after it.
$500 on black.
We're doing it.
200
When are we
bucks.
going to Mesquite again?
I put
Bob, you
200
coming?
bucks.
Am I invited this time?
We can go to
We'll
Windover.
see.
You know, these
That's
guys are just
closer
sitting
for
there.
everybody.
Oh, we're going to
That's
Mesquite,
closer.
and I'm
I
just sitting here.
heard.
Yeah,
No,
I'll be
I
sitting
heard
here all
Wendover's
alone this
dirty.
weekend.
Wendover,
so if you guys
it's
have
the same as
plans,
Mesquite.
Okay, well, check it out. Hit the weed shop.
whoa, recreational. Yo, can we talk about how whack the Jake Paul, Ben Askren
Did you
broadcast
see
was?
that, Jackson?
That shit was so whack.
Yeah, I watched the whole minute 30
Dude,
of
it
it
was
on
the
YouTube.
most like. Here's what you think. I like Snoop. Snoop's funny because you
Yeah.
see Jake Paul he's calling out Tommy Fury, an actual boxer.
What?
He's a pro,
Right.
not Tyson
He
Fury.
called him out? No, I
Yeah,
know
Tommy
Tommy.
Fury.
Oh, you know Tommy Fury? He's
Yeah,
he's an
he
actual
was on Love
boxer.
Island.
Yeah. He's
Do you watch Love
dying.
Island?
I have before. Yeah,
That is a really good show.
but he's
I
calling
watched,
him
like,
out.
3
I'm like,
seasons
dude,
of it.
he's an actual boxer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
has pro fights. Then Jake Paul's like, yeah, I'll fight Tyson Fury. I'm like, okay, calm down.
Okay.
But Tommy
They're trying to
Fury's
get him to
like,
fight Tyron Woodley too. Tyron Woodley was in his locker room. Did you see that clip? And he's like, I don't play no games. And then he was like talking smack to Jake Paul in Jake Paul's
Okay,
locker room before the fight.
why don't they just because how tall? Let's get Tommy Fury. I feel like Tommy Fury would be a good fight. We'll see if he's an actual.
I think he's like 5'8".
Who? Tyron Woodley?
No,
No.
Tyson or Tommy Fury.
Yeah, but if he did fight a Tyron Woodley or a Luke Rockhold or something like that, the people at 190.
Yeah, not guys that should be at 170. They're fighting at weighing 192.
I'm just saying.
But dude, that broadcast was the worst. Like, yeah, Snoop Dogg's funny, like, but they have a high
It's
Oscar
just-
De La Hoya, Mario Lopez.
Yeah,
Pete
they're all high as
Davidson.
hell because
I'm
of Snoop Dogg. They're
It
all
was
getting
just too
contact
much.
high.
Like at the end where he's like, give me my fucking money. Bring me my fucking money. I was just kind of like, okay, this is kind of
Yeah.
annoying. You know what I mean? It's not funny.
Yeah.
It's just,
Here's
dude,
what
you're
they
too much.
their
No,
broadcast.
who's annoying is Oscar De La Hoya. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, I like it, baby. Yeah, baby. Like the whole time. Like he's
Yeah,
hyping
shut up,
himself up.
Golden
You
Boy.
can wash clothes on my abs right now, baby. I'm like, oh my god.
He knew that it was going to be like clip central for that fight. So he's just like trying to
trying to
soak it
hype
up
his
as
stuff
much
up.
as he could.
I'm only gonna fight the best.
They
I've
should.
only fought the best.
Here's an idea. Next broadcast, when Jake Paul fights Tommy Fury, just get Snoop, bring Snoop back, he's funny. Get Joe Rogan, pay Joe Rogan, and Joey Diaz. Get them 3 in, high as fuck. Let them smoke weed and be funny.
No, I don't even know if I want Snoop in it. Yo, Snoop's the OG, but the whole time all he kept saying is, oh, that's open like 7-Eleven. Wide open like 7-Eleven. Like it was funny the first 2 times, but he said it like 400 times.
I didn't even know all those guys. I just listened to it at the end and I was like, dude, shut up.
And
I
then
didn't
they
even
get
know
it.
who
Just
was
the
doing it.
cameras, dude, like, and all the people in the ring at the end.
Yeah.
What are their name? D'Amelio twins.
The
sisters,
D'Amelio sisters or something like that. The
putting
TikTokers.
putting the belts on backwards on the dudes. I'm like,
Scandalous. Speaking, kind of to rewind back to Mass, did you see all the flack that the D'Amelio twins caught because they went on vacation? And they're like, really, we're in the middle of a pandemic and you guys are on vacation.
That's what drives me nuts.
let them.
Who
I'm
cares?
like-
Let them. If they get the COVID, that's their own damn
That's
fault.
just like, my life sucks so much that I'm going to get on and tweet about it and your life should suck too.
Yeah. And it's like I see it all the time too because I watch a lot of YouTubers like a lot of used to travel YouTubers and stuff, and they're pretty
even
conservative
killed.
when it comes to that. When like they're like, oh, like they're like really afraid of the pandemic and everything, which it's not a like people should be, if they want to, but it's like they're so worried about catching catching shade on their channel and stuff. They won't film themselves like they used to. It's like they're only at
Yeah.
their house or like
It's
they
just
bought a
not
camera.
genuine anymore.
Yeah, it's
you
not
know what
genuine.
I mean?
It's like
People aren't genuine because they're so afraid of
Yeah.
the cancel culture
cancel
nowadays.
culture is exactly what it is. Like they went to Home Depot and they had to it didn't show them having a mask, and they had to explain they had a little segment in their podcast or in their YouTube video saying, "Yo, don't wear. We were wearing masks because people are so crazy about that." It's like they didn't wear a mask. Oh well, that's their problem. It's not your problem. Like,
no, it's
What do you guys think of Dwayne Wade buying
Jazz.
major stake in the Jazz?
I think that's big
I think it's
big
sick.
for the
I was
Jazz. I
just telling
think people
Bob,
would like to.
I don't want them to relocate.
I don't think they'll relocate.
Relocate,
Where would they relocate to?
like Seattle.
No, I don't think they could. They wouldn't get the backing because I bet.
Well, back in the only thing that was keeping them here was the Miller family for 30 years.
I think
I don't know.
You're telling me that the Miller family doesn't have like
No, they got rid of everything.
constituents. Constituents, is that a word?
No idea. That's a big word for me.
They had something like
Contingencies?
that with the Ryan Smith guy for
Do
quadratics or
they?
whatever.
Oh,
I swear I read something about contingencies.
Till
That
he's
sounds
like,
right.
till he's like, oh, Seattle's a bigger money market. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I think Seattle should have a team, but I think they need to expand the NBA. Get a team down in Mexico. Maybe get another team up in
Canada.
Imagine a
our
Mexico
northern
NBA
neighbors.
team, though. Like nobody would want to go play in Mexico just because Mexico's
No.
kind of a mess right now. I was watching some documentaries on YouTube about Mexico right now with the cartels like been higher than it ever has been with the pandemic because everything's shut down. Then people need work. The cartel's still running. It's like people are going to the cartel and they say the cartel is pretty bad. And where the areas where cartel is obviously, but it's like they said it's higher than it's ever been.
But see, the thing is, the cartel, it comes down to like, you know how they treat resorts? Most of the time, they have ownership in a lot of the resorts. They get a lot of traffic, and they keep all cartel business away from resorts because they know it's bad for business. That's their money thing.
Looks like the
From a
cartel.
cartel standpoint, having the NBA there, I couldn't imagine that would hurt them in any way.
Yeah.
More tourists going there. Think of all the people that would locate to the major.
One mess up though, like one mess up, it's gone.
How many mess ups have we had, and people are still just USA?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I imagine it got bad. Like, remember the Pablo Escobar stuff? Like he blew up a government building and stuff. What if it got that bad?
Colombia.
That's it. No, that was it?
Yeah,
Colombian
Escobar
drug
was
lord Pablo Escobar.
Colombia's not like, it's actually not as bad as it used to be now. Like it's actually on the up and up.
Dude, speaking of Colombia, when I was living in DC, I had this job for like a Vivint Gives Back install, so it was pretty much like free everything. They got through a program. The mother was not there, but her 22-year-old Colombian daughter in a tight little sundress did the entire install with me. Boys,
what did that do for you?
I'm going to Colombia.
Yes.
I need to brush up on my Espanol. Bob, I need lessons.
Wrong guy. Wrong brown guy.
Come mierda.
Sí. ¿Cómo se dice? Sí.
I said eat shit.
Yeah, I know
I
you
said
did.
see.
I know you said that.
You eat shit?
No, I don't eat shit. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You
Name
eat
that
pieces of
classic.
shit for breakfast?
No.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. It's a classic.
Hey boys, we have 58 minutes.
58 minutes. A good podcast.
Can't go over an hour. Wrap it up quick. Bear's
Wrap
ready
it
to go to bed.
Okay,
Yo,
you guys got
420
any?
tomorrow.
Guys got any
420's
clothing?
tomorrow.
Okay, say
I
your
just want to
closing
say
thoughts.
shout out to Chartreuse for the continuous support of Talon Streams. You need to drop her a plug. You got to go check out her page. She's an amazing artist. He just about ate shit.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, she said she'd draw us us as cartoons.
Nice. This is in your stream.
Chartreuse, make sure
Shout out Chartreuse.
If you draw those, write your initial in the corner. Big, thick ink. Write your name on it.
Okay, Bobby, you got any closing thoughts?
Wear a mask, people. Wear a
Oh
mask.
my gosh.
Okay, that's been B&T'S
Jeez.
Basement. Oh, we
Do whatever you want. Freedom.
Peace.
Peace.
Welcome to the basement.